All right. Welcome everybody to today's webinar. Thank you so much for joining me live. Thank you so much for being a part of this. This is going to be a very valuable webinar. I'm super excited to dive into all the content that I have prepared for you. But before we get started, I'm going to give everybody a few minutes because we typically get a lot of people joining late within the first 5 minutes of these webinars. And I want to give everybody a chance to capture all the content, not miss a single minute. So let me know here in the comments where you're joining me from. Just let me know the city, state, and we'll go through a few people here that are here live, and then we'll dive in here in a few minutes. Okay, so I was told I was echoing. I think I'm not now. Just double check. I'm going to double check on that. Let me know if I'm still echoing. Okay, awesome. So echoes are good. Sounds good. Thank you for the feedback. Appreciate it. All right. So it looks like we've got people here from New York. It's great. I'm going to be in New York next week. Let me know if you're in New York. I'll see if I can connect with you in person. And it looks like we've got Austin, Texas. We've got Omaha, Nebraska. We have Cheyenne, Wyoming. That's unique. Okay. Well, that's great. Spent some time there in the military at one point. I was there for a 2-week training years ago. It was some crazy weather there. It literally changed like every hour. That was Wyoming in my experience. We also have Seattle, Washington. We've got Portland, Oregon. We've got Boise, Idaho. Amazing. Looks like we've got Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I've heard nothing but good things about Fort Lauderdale. Looks like we also have another guy from Arizona. Amazing. Good to see you. And then looks like we also have Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Athens, Georgia. And then let's see. And then I'm scrolling down. We've got Memphis, Tennessee. So yeah, we got a lot of people here from different places. It's great. Okay. All right, guys. Well, without further ado, let's dive in. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Let me know when you can see it. I just want to make sure that you guys are having a great experience. So just check in with me. Let me know when you can see it. I'm sharing it now. Here we go. All right. So just give me a thumbs up that you can see my screen loud and clear. Give me a thumbs up. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you. Cool. Hey, we got Massachusetts here in the house. I might be visiting Boston next week, possibly. So we'll see. Cool. All right, guys. I'm getting thumbs ups. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay. All right, guys. So in this webinar today, you're going to discover how to buy a cash flowing online business in the next few months without starting from scratch or risking your life savings. So welcome to today's webinar. Now, I want to make sure you guys get the most out of this webinar. So before we begin, shut down any distractions, take your phone, turn it off, or put it at least upside down and away from you. That's what I've done. So turn off your phone, notifications, close any extra browser tabs. This way you're 100% focused on this. If you have extra screens, don't have anything on those screens. I've got extra screens here, but you know what? There's nothing on those screens because I want to give you my full attention and I want you to get the most out of this. That's why I recommend that you do the same. And just give me your full attention for up to the next 90 minutes. It probably won't take 90 minutes. It'll probably take about 60 to 75 minutes, but it's good to have that time set aside so this way you get a lot out of today's webinar. So what you'll be shown today is, like I said before, how to buy a cash flowing online business, even with no experience, limited capital, and no deal pipeline. This will take you from where you're at, whether you're into acquisitions and you're looking at businesses, or you're just interested and you want to start. So if you want to go from 0 deals to owning a cash flowing online business in 4 months or less, you're in the right place. This does not require experience. There is creative financing and creative strategies that you can use. And there's a proven evaluation framework in today's webinar that you're going to discover. So this way you can buy an online business using creative financing with little to no money down, or if you have money to deploy, you can get it to work for you. So this way you can get significant returns. You can also step into significant cash flow right away on day one. So these are some slides of some of our businesses. We've got over 30 million in online sales represented from these dashboard images. So we're actually doing what it is that you're going to discover today. We own a portfolio of businesses. We've purchased many businesses over the last few years. So the proof is real. We've got screenshots, we've got results, we have deals. We're getting results every single day. We're getting sales every single minute, okay? So I want you to imagine what could happen to your portfolio if you had the same exact system I use, but simplified and structured so anyone can follow it. So stay until the end. I've got something special. I've got some very significant bonuses that I'm going to give to everybody that's here live to make this process even easier for you, okay? All right, guys, let's dive in. So who am I? I am Josh Marsden. I've acquired 19 businesses under my parent company, arm5formula.com, which is a two-time Inc. 5000 company. We specialize in buying established, successful, profitable online businesses. We take them, we manage them, we scale them, and then we're going to roll them up and exit or take the whole company public. We've been working on it for quite some time. And we've also helped clients and people just like you acquire online businesses since we started doing this for others over the last 12 months. We've had 30 million, just over 30 million in online sales since 2022 alone. If I were to count the first 9 years of business from 2013 on, you could add at least 10 million to that. So we've had quite a bit of sales online over the last 13 and a half years. And since 2022, this is sales from our own businesses. This is not revenue for clients. This is not managed spend. This is our own portfolio. This is our own sales. We've also raised 8.2 million in capital to acquire and scale online business assets. So we've been very good at getting people's attention, getting people to believe in the vision, come on board into the vision, and now we're serving them and helping them, be able to be a part of what we're building here. So this way they can see a significant ROI, especially after we accomplish our goal of either rolling it and selling it to private equity or taking the whole company public. As I mentioned before, our company has been on the Inc. 5000 now twice over the last 2 years. But here's what matters most. It's not just about my results. It's about whether this system works for other people too. And multiple students, as I've mentioned, have closed deals. And these are regular people who just followed our process and just worked with us. And they bought their first online business. It's literally changed some of these people's lives. So it's not about me being special. It's about the system. It's about the process being special. It's about the blueprint. And I'm going to hand you this system today. And this presentation is literally going to prove to you that it isn't about me. It's about the system being special. Okay, let's dive into some real student results, because I don't want you guys to take my word for it. I want you to see real stories from people just like you. So I am going to add Jason Decker here.
Hi, I'm Jason Decker. And
now, let me know in the comments. I've just pause it, but let me know in the comments that you could hear this loud and clear. Just want to make sure you guys have a good experience. Give me a thumbs up or just something in the comments. I'm gonna hit play, and then I'll let you guys listen to good old Jason Decker here, who literally had his life changed by working with us, following the system, and having an online business purchase.
Hi, I'm Jason Decker, and I am the owner of This Silly Girl's Kitchen, where I got the help from Team Arm 5, and I am incredibly grateful I did. I was your typical rat race guy working in automotive for 26 years, a couple days off a month, not spending time with family. Every story you can dream up was pretty much the life I was living. And I just decided there had to be another way. So with the team at Arm 5's help, I was able to buy my first business. And it literally took 4 months. For when I started till me finalizing the documents on my asset purchase order. And I'll tell you this, I got a Harvard education on what it takes to buy a business. I got a Harvard education on the legalese, and it's a lot of work. So if you don't plan to do work and you think it's just a layup, well, that's not it. But the good part is you have the freedom over your time and your success. And that's what this system helped provide me with. I did the work, and am doing the work and will continue to do the work because I want the company to have massive success. But at the end of the day, I really have to thank the guys from ARM5 because they helped me out tremendously. They held my hand along the way, which is exactly what I needed. And I'm grateful I made the decision I did to join ARM5. So thanks, Josh, and especially thanks to Jeff because he was absolutely outstanding, holding my hand through this, teaching me as much as he did. He was not only has become a friend, he's become a mentor, and I am incredibly blessed to have both Josh and Jeff in my life. Thanks.
All right, and here's another guy for
Hi
you.
everyone, I'm Joe Patrol, and I want to talk to you about why I joined the ARM5 Formula Acquisition Program. One of the biggest reasons I joined the ARM5 Formula is that I work a normal 9-to-5 job. I go to work, I come home, I pay my bills, and I find that at the end of the week, most of the money that I've made at work goes out to spending bills like everyone else does, going to the same program. And like everybody else, it's a grind that everyone has to go through. Another reason why I joined is because I always wanted to buy my own business. I always wanted to be able to do that, but I lacked the knowledge or the funds to be able to do that. Now granted, I joined this ARM5 Formula program with zero money to be able to do anything, to be able to buy a business, to have nothing. I just took very little of what I had and I bought into this program. And since then, I've joined, I have learned the knowledge of what it means to how to look at a company, how the questions to ask, and what to look for in a e-commerce business. And I have learned that joining the ARM5 Formula, and Josh and his team have taught me this. Since then, I am at the process of buying my very first business. And the business is making over $1.2 million a year, averaging over $100,000 a month, and making $20,000 net profit. And guess what? I had put in zero money of my money into this acquisition. And that is what Josh and his team have taught me and given me the confidence in the future. And since then, I am looking forward to a more brighter future for myself and for my family in order to be able to do the things that I want. And it's all about because of what I am doing now, joining this program. So I hope that you will take the chance that, like I did, to join this program and to learn from Josh and his team. And one day you will be able to buy your own business and learn what it means to be an entrepreneur. Everybody, you have yourself a great day, and I hope you join this program, and I'll be seeing you guys around.
All right, guys. Well, those are two guys that we had some incredible impact on. Dirk, he now has a business that he bought that was doing $20,000 a month in profit, even after terms, after debt, after payments. So those people have had their lives changed by going through the program, following the system, following the process, and buying a business by following our process and utilizing all the support that we give every step of the way, just so you guys know. So, all right, guys. So here is the typical ROI breakdown. This is a breakdown of a first-time acquirer, an average breakdown. This is just one example. I mean, it can go a few different ways. You could buy a bigger business. You could buy a business with more cash flow, but this is just one way it can work out. This is a typical kind of estimate on a first-time acquirer buying a business. So let's just say that you're working with us, you're going through our system, you've got a business in front of you that is worth $150,000. It's priced at $150,000, okay? And this is a company that's doing $50,000 a month in revenue, so $600,000 a year, and is doing $15,000 a month in profit, okay? Now, a company like this, just to give you an idea, we are really good with our system at getting a business with very creative financing with little to no money down. And so a business like this will end up maybe being up to $30,000 in a down payment at most. And there's different ways you can cover that without using your own money. And I can go over that, and you'll find this out in one of the secrets that I'm going to reveal later in the presentation today. And so after you buy a business like this, it's 150,000, again, just an example, that you put up to 30,000 down. Now you have a business that is doing 10,000 to 15,000 per month in profit. That's immediate cash flow from day one of ownership, which immediately within the first month gets you a positive ROI from the investment of working with us. And now you have a business that is giving you 180,000 in annual profit, which is more than most jobs, okay? And on top of that, you have an asset. Now this asset, the nice thing about owning a business is you have influence over it. You can dictate, you can help it grow, and we're going to help you grow it too. That's something we do with every client that works with us that buys a business with our help. So let's just say that we help you double it. Now it's a company that's doing 30,000 a month in profit, and we also work on the business. We help you put characteristics in place in the business so this way the business commands a bigger multiple. And so now the business is worth 1.26 million. Now this is, real math off of a 3.5x multiple and off of 30,000 a month in profit, which is 360,000 a year in profit. Okay, just so you know where the math is coming from. So that's how you can buy a business with creative financing with little to no money down, and be able to step into cash flow, add an additional income, and then also have an asset that can grow in value and can be worth over 7 figures within 2 years or less with our help. So, and this is just one example. This is just a first-time example. You could buy a bigger business, you can even buy a smaller business, but this is like a good introductory business, and that's why I've used this in this typical ROI breakdown, okay? But I just want you to see what's possible here. Because right now, there's a flood of businesses that you could buy. We've got over 1 million boomer-owned businesses expected to sell by 2035, according to McKinsey. We also have 48% of boomer owners that plan to exit within 3 years. We also have 10 trillion in private assets right now coming to market. This is known as the silver tsunami. Feel free to look it up. So we help people buy online businesses for many reasons. And I have a report I'm happy to give you at the end of this webinar that really goes over the differences between offline and online, and the risk differences, the ROI differences. So this way you could see why online, in my opinion, is superior versus buying an offline business. See, e-commerce brands right now, you can buy using my exact same 5-step system that I'm literally about to share with you today. And each business that we've purchased has been acquired with creative financing. Most required little to no money out of our own pocket. And also all are managed with lean teams and also proven systems. So, these aren't outliers. These are normal people that you just heard from in the testimonials who followed the system and got results. And every single one started exactly where you are right now. So who is this for? Okay, so this system is for professionals and career changers. You want to own a cash flowing online business without years of trial and error, and you're ready for a new path. Whether you're sick of the ceiling, whether you're sick of your contemporaries, your bosses, your colleagues, your coworkers, the politics, or you just want to free up your time. And I get that. I get that because I've been there. I know how that is, and it sucks. This is for you if that's you. Also, this is for investors seeking better returns. You're tired of 7% stock market returns, 8 to 9% real estate returns annually, and you want to diversify. You want to get faster growth, and you could do that by diversifying and by adding online businesses to your investment portfolio. And many experts out there recommend that you have up to even 20% of your investment portfolio in private equity because of the boost that the winners will give you to your overall growth of your investment portfolio. Okay, and with online business, it's very possible that you can get a 30 to 50% annual return on owning that online business. This is also for entrepreneurs who want to skip the startup phase, the brutal startup phase that can waste energy, waste time, waste money. That also is a bit of a crapshoot because a lot of businesses, unfortunately, they fail. And so if you're the type of person that doesn't want to spend 2 to 3 years building something from scratch and you want to buy something that already works, then you're in the right place. Also, this is for coachable action takers. You have capital to deploy or are willing to explore creative financing and you're ready to follow a proven process, okay? Now, this is not for everyone, okay? This isn't for people that are get rich quick seekers. If you're looking for overnight money with zero effort, zero responsibility, if you're lazy, then this isn't for you. Buying a business is real work, and owning a business is responsibility. Not willing to do due diligence. If you're not willing to invest time in learning and evaluating deals, this won't help you. If you want passive income with zero involvement, if you just want to flip businesses with zero involvement or aren't willing to follow a systematic process, this isn't for you either, okay? So if that's you, raise your hand. Raise your hand here in the comments. I'm gonna acknowledge a few people. Awesome. Thank you, Horace. I appreciate it. David, thank you. Appreciate it. Jack, thank you so much. Daryl, appreciate it. Amazing. Okay, good. Okay, awesome. All right, we'll keep going here, guys. Okay, so here's your commitment, guys. I need 3 things from you before we go any further on this. Number 1, this is important. Keep an open mind. Some of this might seem too good to be true if you've never been around this stuff. I get it, okay? Part of being in webinars like this, being in environments like this is expanding your mind. And to expand your mind, you've got to have an open mindset. So I ask you to have an open mind today because this is something that can happen to you. And this is a system that works for anybody. As long as you have the right mindset, as long as you're willing to invest in yourself, as long as you're willing to follow a system, follow a process, put the work in, and follow the instructions and lean on us every step of the way, then this can definitely work for you, okay? Also be ready to take action, not tomorrow, not next week, but today. Look, if you've got goals you care about, the only way those goals are gonna happen is if you take action. Nothing happens unless you take massive action. So the difference between success and failure is literally taking action and the speed that you take action. That leads to results as fast as possible. Also, be open to getting help. If what I show you makes sense, be open to investing in yourself. That's the safest investment you can make. Not real estate, not stocks, not crypto for sure, but in yourself. That is the best investment anyone can make. And I believe that. I've done it. I've invested in myself since I started my business back in early 2013, and I've made many investments since, and they've always paid off. So investing in yourself is the best investment that you can make by none, 10 times over, okay? So I'll share with you today how you can work with me directly so this way you can get the help, okay? Now, if this is something that you commit to, this way you're on the same page as me and you've got the right mindset, then put yes, give me a thumbs up, say I'm committed, whatever the case may be, put that in the comments right now. This is a commitment to yourself, okay? You're making this commitment to yourself by doing that because you are saying, hey, you know what? I'm with you, Josh. I'm committed. I see where you're coming from. I see where you want to take me, and I have an open mind, and I am ready to see how I can change my life through this system, through this process, okay? Okay, let's get real, guys. You might be thinking, Josh, you've bought 19 businesses, and you've done over 30 million in online sales since 2022. You might be some kind of genius. Well, I'm not, all right? Look, I didn't come from money. I didn't think like an entrepreneur. I thought like a working class, individual growing up. I was a military brat, okay? I was a military brat the first 11 years of my life. And then we moved to Arizona and I got great grades, was an honor student, I excelled in school, went to college, crashed and burned, went in the military, got back on track, got my degrees, worked in corporate. Look, that was my background. So I didn't have a network. I didn't have a lot of resources. I didn't have a lot of money, none of that. I just had the willingness to learn and the willingness to take action, okay? And my first business purchase, it wasn't glamorous. I mean, I made mistakes. I overpaid. I didn't know what due diligence really meant, but I learned, and that experience became the foundation for everything that came after. Every time we made a purchase that didn't make sense when we were first starting to buy businesses, we learned, we applied, we optimized, we improved. And now we have a rigorous process that helps us acquire businesses, by mitigating risk, by getting shared risk deals, by getting businesses with little to no money down. And that is the system that you now have access to today. Okay. And once I found this process, once I established it, once I got past all those early mistakes, everything literally changed. And I developed a systematic approach to evaluating, financing, and transitioning into online businesses. So that first painful experience, it literally turned into a repeatable system. And then I did it again and again and again. And that's how we've been able to create a 2-time Inc. 5000 company over the last few years. That's how we've had over 30 million in sales since 2022. And that's how we've successfully acquired 19 businesses ourselves, not counting the people that we've helped in our community buy businesses. So I didn't have any advantages that you don't have. In fact, you have a massive advantage that I didn't have when I started. You have someone who's already made the mistakes and built the system for you. So success in business acquisition, it's not about being the smartest person in the room. It's about having the right system and taking action fast. Okay. So here's the big picture. Let's start with the full map. I want you to see the big picture before we zoom into each piece. So what ARM5 actually stands for. So ARM is the marketing engine that makes these businesses valuable. The 5 profit amplifiers, that's what the 5 stands for, are the levers that you pull post-acquisition, post-purchase to multiply growth. A stands for authority. You're buying a business that already has trust and credibility. R is reciprocity. The audience wants to buy, and they have been buying, and they want to continue to buy more. M is monetization. The revenue engine is already running. It's already making money. And then 5, as I mentioned, stands for the profit amplifiers, which is retention, conversion, pricing, efficiency, and also traffic. Now, the ARM5 acquisition method is 5 steps as well. It's evaluate, find deals worth buying using proven criteria. 2, finance, structure creative deals with little to no money down. 3, transition, take ownership without disrupting the business, especially in the 90 days, the first 90 days. And then 4, optimize, apply the 5 profit amplifiers to grow value. And then 5, scale, build a portfolio of cash flowing assets, just like what we've done. So this is a counterintuitive approach. Most people think you need years of experience, millions in capital, and a huge network. And the truth is you need a proven system, the right guidance, and the willingness to take action, okay? So what makes this different? See, most programs, they teach theory. I give you a system. See, other approaches, they might hand you a book on mergers and acquisitions and say, here you go, read or listen to it even. They might say, figure it out yourself. It's theory-based generic advice, and you're literally on your own going through the process, which means that you're not going to figure it out. You're not going to get to the finish line. Whereas the ARM5 system, we put you in the passenger seat right next to us. We turn on the GPS. We say, follow my lead. We know exactly where we're going. We know what turns to take. We know what steps to take to get to the end result. And we'll have you closing deals within months. So I'm not teaching from theory. I've personally bought 19 online businesses. I've done over 30 million in online sales, all since 2022. So you're learning from someone who does this literally every single day. You'll see real numbers and real deals. I'm not just going to tell you what to do. I'm going to show you real deal structures, real profit and loss statements, real evaluation frameworks from my actual portfolio. And creative financing, it changes everything. The parts that used to require hundreds of thousands in cash are now possible with seller financing, earnouts, and other creative deal structures. And as I mentioned before, this is designed for first-time buyers. This isn't designed for someone that has experience in buying a business or owning a business even. This is designed for first-time buyers that want to become entrepreneurs, that want to become business owners. So this isn't for people that already own a portfolio. This isn't for people with M&A experience. This is for people buying their very first online business. So why now? So we're in the middle of the greatest wealth transfer in history right now. Baby boomers own millions of businesses, and as they retire, they need to sell. And this is creating the largest wealth of business transfers that we've literally ever seen. There's literally 6.8 trillion in the global e-commerce market. So this is a massive and growing market with thousands of businesses. Changing hands though, every single year. There's thousands of businesses right now for sale, literally tens of thousands. Right now, we estimate there's about 70,000, maybe more, online businesses listed for sale. And that doesn't include businesses that aren't listed for sale that you can get interested in selling, for example. So these are businesses that are on the public market, are available at any given time, and private deals literally multiply this number. So before, you had the traditional path. You had start from scratch, takes maybe 2 to 3 years. You have a 90% failure rate for startup. You could spend 50,000 to 200,000, maybe even more building the business. I know many business owners that have invested a ton of money and unfortunately failed. And you may build a business and not have revenue for months, and you have to endure those months, and that's tough. It's tough from an energetic perspective. It's tough from a cash flow perspective. It's not easy. But see, with the ARM5 method, you can buy an existing business, and we estimate that the average person gets through the process within 4 months or less. As long as you apply yourself, as long as you meet us halfway, as long as you show up every week for the coaching calls or the calls that we have one-on-one. Also, you're stepping into revenue on day one. Very different from starting up a business where you don't know if you're going to have free cash flow anytime soon. Whereas when you buy a business, you're stepping into profit, you're stepping into cash flow, literally on day one. Also, you can use creative financing when you're buying an online business. And creative financing lets you buy an online business with little to no money down, as long as you know what you're doing, as long as you have a system, as long as you have a process, as long as you know how to get a business with those terms, which we can help you do because we've done it many, many, many times, okay? So altogether, this leads to cash flow immediately, which leads to impact literally on day one of ownership. So the window, it's open right now. The opportunity exists. Seller financing is common. The market is still fragmented, but institutional money is starting to wake up to online business assets. But you can't do it alone. I don't recommend you go at this alone, because without the right process, without the right evaluation framework, without the right deal structures, without the right transition path, you could end up buying a lemon or just losing your deposit. There's a lot of risk, basically, if you go at it alone. Whereas if you follow a proven process, you have expert support every step of the way, it reduces the risk drastically and also sets up you for success, and also helps you have success within a shorter time frame so you can change your life as soon as possible. And with 19 acquisitions of experience compressed into a system, anyone can literally follow this. That's what makes right now the best time in history to buy your online business, okay? So today I'm going to share my 3 biggest secrets to buying cash flowing online businesses. I'm going to walk you through each one step by step. I'll even stay on for questions at the end, so feel free to put your questions in the chat at any time throughout. All right, let's dive in, guys. Let's get started. So I didn't invent business buying, obviously. I just systematized it. So anyone, regardless of experience or capital, can do it safely and can do it profitably, all right? So here's secret number 1, the evaluation methodology. So secret number 1 is you don't need to find the deal. You need to know which deals are worth buying. See, most people are stuck in which deal mode. And I think it has to do with having a perfectionist mindset and also having a risk-averse mindset where you're looking for the perfect deal, or you're just, you've got decision fatigue over, your decision analysis where it causes what's called perilous, I can't even say it right now, I don't know why, but you're paralyzing yourself is what I'm trying to say when you are overthinking a decision, okay? Paralysis analysis, that's what I was trying to say. And a lot of people find themselves stuck in that mode, and they spend weeks scrolling marketplaces, looking at hundreds of listings, falling in love with ideas instead of numbers. And you have to look at businesses in a different way. You have to look at businesses as basically an investor, basically as someone that is looking for a good business, regardless of whether it's the perfect business, but a good business that's a smart business purchase that can help you accomplish your goals of getting a cash flowing business that is established and successful, that has growth opportunities. This way you could turn it into a more valuable asset, okay? And they either end up buying the wrong business or they just never buy at all. So most people, what they think is, I need to find the perfect deal. I need to look at hundreds of listings. I need months of research, or I need years of M&A experience before I make a move. And then they end up never making a move and never changing their life and just staying stuck. But the truth is you just need a proven evaluation framework, because this allows you to have a system that filters in minutes the right deals for you, and also gives you a due diligence process where you could follow a checklist, which helps you identify good businesses, helps you see the red flags, helps you see what questions to ask. And then after that, this system also, the math tells you everything, and that's key. You definitely need to have a system that yields numbers and yields actual estimates right away, so this way you can make good decisions on buying a business. And so the ARM5 evaluation framework, step one, it's all about checking the seller discretionary earnings, which is basically profit plus anything that the owner is taking from the business, put back into the business, whether it's travel expenses, whether it's an income, it's put back into the business. That's why SDE is the term versus net profit, because it's seller discretionary earnings, okay? So that's step one. Step two is assess stability. Is the revenue consistent, or is it volatile, or is it declining, or is it growing? You know, obviously you want stable, you want growing. If there's a slight decline but still doing good numbers, it still is a good potential acquisition, but there is some risk there, but that's also something you can use in negotiations, okay? Step three, evaluate sustainability. Will this business exist in 2 years? Basically, for example, you don't want to buy, especially here in 2026, you don't want to buy a business that's selling products that clears the air using ultraviolet light, so this way there's no germs around you. You don't have to worry about COVID today, basically is what I'm getting at, right? That's not a business that's going to be relevant in the next 2 years, not even relevant now. But that's what I mean by evaluate sustainability. And then step four, test scalability. Can you grow it with the 5 profit amplifiers? That's key, okay? So SDE is the number that matters most. Seller discretionary earnings, again, is what that stands for. And this is true profit after all owner benefits. So if the owner works 80 hours a week and funds ads on personal credit cards, that's not a business, it's a job. So you're looking at buying a job when you see a business like that, okay? And to quote Dirk, who you heard from earlier in the presentation today, he said, I joined the ARM5 Formula program with zero money and learned how to evaluate e-commerce businesses. I've now acquired my first business doing over 1.2 million per year. That was Dirk, first time acquirer of a business, and he was a working professional that just literally wanted to add an additional cash flow opportunities this way he can accomplish some of his personal goals. And he's now bought a business and he's done that, okay? So see how simple that is. No fancy degree required, just follow the framework, check the numbers, and the math tells you where to move forward or walk away, okay? And literally 3 out of 4 deals I pass on using this exact framework. Knowing what to say no to is just as important as knowing what to buy. And the framework does both. So without a system, emotional decisions based on gut feel is typically what happens. You're overpaying because you don't know the real value. You don't know how to truly evaluate a business and how to price it right. Also, you're missing hidden liabilities until it's too late, until you've stepped into ownership. Now, all of a sudden, you're seeing all these red flags. And wow, that's a very risky position to be in. And also, it could be months of wasted time on dead-end deals because you don't have a system, you don't have a process, and you're just burning, energy. Okay, so with the ARM5 framework, you have data-driven scoring in under 30 minutes every time. You know the exact fair market value before you even get to an offer, okay? Also, red flags surface automatically in due diligence, which is key and very important, as you can imagine. And you only spend time on deals that pass the filter, okay? Okay, so here's secret number 2, creative financing. And this is the most popular secret. You can buy an online business with little to no money down, okay? See, most people think you need hundreds of thousands in cash. They assume business buying is only for the wealthy, for people with millions in the bank, for Wall Street types. That's what I thought too. A long time ago now, but that's what I thought, okay? And that's the biggest myth in this industry. See, people think that they need 500,000 or more in cash to buy a business. I also need perfect credit, or I need an SBA loan, and banks are the only option. And I can't afford to buy a business because of stuff like this. So the truth is, though, is that creative financing literally changes everything. Seller financing aligns incentives. It allows you to have a shared risk deal with every single owner. Also, many deals lead to little to no money down when you take a creative financing approach and you know how to properly evaluate a business and use that evaluation in your negotiations. And so basically, if you do this right, the business, it pays for itself and makes you money and allows you to see a significant impact on your cash flow and also on your wealth gains over the next few years without you putting a lot of money or any money up front, okay? And this is why I choose seller financing and other creative financing measures over SBA loans. For one, speed. You close in weeks, not over months due to bank bureaucracy, because SBA loans, they take like 3 to 5 months. That causes a lot of issues. Okay, you have to keep the seller, the owner engaged. The owner seller also is a part of the process. So your success in getting an SBA loan is not based on just you. It's based on the owner seller. If they don't meet you halfway, well, you just wasted a bunch of time. And on top of that too, you end up overpaying for the business typically when you try to use an SBA loan because you tell the seller or the broker, I'm going to use an SBA loan. Now they're like, oh, okay, I'm going to be able to get top dollar for my business because I'm going to get the whole thing financed. That's not a good position to be in as a buyer, okay? Also, flexibility. The custom terms that work for both parties, again, they give you flexibility in the offer. They also reduce the risk and they help you create a shared risk deal where they're invested in your future success and you're mitigating the risk because you're taking that approach, okay? Also, alignment. So the seller stays invested in your success. You want that. They get paid as you succeed, okay? And then accessibility. Again, no massive down payments, no personal collateral requirements as well. And typically that's the case with an SBA loan. You need to put a personal guarantee on that, which is liability for you. And see how seller financing works. So if you don't know how seller financing works, the seller acts as the bank. You make installment payments over time instead of paying upfront, and the seller stays aligned with your success. It's a win-win. Most beginners never negotiate, okay? So a quote from Jason Decker, who you heard from, one of the clients that we've helped in our acquisition method program that's seen tremendous success and a massive impact on his life and his time since he bought a business. I spent 26 years working in automotive, stuck in the rat race and barely seeing my family. With the help of the ARM5 team, I was able to buy my first business in about 4 months. Okay, so see how accessible that is. No $1 million bank account required, no lengthy SBA loan process, just a smart deal structure that works for both sides, for everyone involved. And I literally paid $0 out of pocket on my first seller finance acquisition. It was 100% seller financed, paid back entirely from the business's own profits over 24 months. And you could do the same, okay? Okay, so to give you like a before and after here, so traditional buying, you need $100,000 to $500,000 in savings, or you need an SBA loan, okay? That's not the case. This is what you used to think. You need 6 to 12 months of bank paperwork. You need a personal guarantee and collateral. And also banks say no to 80% of online businesses, okay? Now, afterwards, now you have creative financing. You can start with little to no money out of your own pocket. You can close in 30 to 60 days with seller financing or other creative financing measures. Business profits pay the acquisition cost is the right way to structure it. And this works for any online business, okay? All right, so number 3, the ownership transition. So this is secret number 3. Closing the deal is just the beginning. How to transition into ownership without disrupting the business. Now, most people think the work is done once you sign the papers. They celebrate closing day and then they wake up the next morning wondering, what do I do now? And those first 90 days are the most dangerous 90 days, because the first 90 days after a business purchase are when value is lost. Bad transitions destroy good businesses. So without a transition plan, key staff can leave in confusion, customers experience disruption, you're scrambling to figure out operations, and revenue drops as chaos increases. And with the ARM5 transition system, the existing team stays in place with clear roles. If they didn't have them before, we help you do that. But we don't make any changes to the team. We keep the team as is, at least for the first 90 days. Customers notice that nothing's changed. Everything's the same. I'm still getting my product. I'm still getting a great customer experience. I'm still happy. Everything's good. And there's also SOPs, processes, and reporting from day one of ownership. And revenue continues and revenue grows, okay? So the three pillars of a successful transition come down to staffing, keep the existing team, document roles, establish clear communications. 2, reporting. Set up weekly dashboards and KPIs assigned to different team members based on their responsibilities, based on their role in the company from day one. Sets the expectations, creates a performance-driven culture. This way, they know their numbers and you know your numbers as the business owner. And then rhythm. Establish the operating rhythm of the business early, right away on day one with weekly reviews, monthly goals, and quarterly planning, okay? So this is how I transition into a new business. Week 1 is all about team meetings. I meet every employee, I understand roles, I build trust. I get that buy-in, I set expectations. Week 2, SOP, documentation. I make sure all processes are documented. If not, I assign. I make sure people are documenting their processes, putting it into our SOP. Now you can put it into AI processes as well, where AI can run a lot of those processes too. I establish workflows if there's not workflows already established. I also create a system. Week 3, reporting setup. So this is where I install reporting dashboards, KPIs, key performance indicators. Everybody knows what they're responsible for. And we also are tracking finances every single day, every single week, every single month. And then week 4, optimization begins. We apply the 5 profit amplifiers and we start actively growing the company using the 5 profit amplifiers. And so this is how you own a portfolio, not a group of jobs. Systems over talent, reporting over guessing, rhythm over chaos. Those are all key. When you transition correctly, you own an asset, not another job, okay? So 90 days from closing to fully systematized ownership. This way you could be an owner that puts in 1, maybe 2 hours a week. The team handles the business. You have a lead on the staff that handles all the day-to-day, and they report to you. That's the way to set this up. This way you are an owner, not an operator, okay? So on one of my acquisitions, for example, I retained the entire team and I documented every process. I followed all these steps that I just went over, and I literally grew revenue 25% all within the first quarter that I owned that business. So you don't have to quit your day job, guys. You don't have to wait for the perfect time, or you don't have to wait for you to, be laid off. Not a good time to do this, because then you're operating out of fear. You don't have to quit your day job to go through this. Most of my acquisitions were managed alongside other projects. The transition system is designed for busy professionals just like you, if this is you. Literally, weeks 1 through 2, shadow the seller and document all systems. Weeks 3 through 4, begin managing with the seller still on standby, because again, they're investing in your success if you're following our system, creating a shared risk deal where they get paid over time, not all up front. Weeks 5 through 8, full ownership with automated reporting. Everybody knows their roles. Everybody knows what KPIs, numbers that they're responsible for, and they are running the business and producing results and growing the business and reporting to you as the owner every single week. And week 9 and on, you're the owner, working on the business, not in it, because you've taken these steps and you followed this specific step-by-step process, okay? So let me know here in the comments you're tracking along on this. Let me know, just give me a thumbs up, raise your hand, give me a comment, throw a question in there if you got a question that you have, which we'll get to here in a little bit. I just want to make sure you guys are tracking along, so let me know that you're tracking along by going into the comments right now, all right? Okay, so each secret is powerful on its own, but together they create a seamless system for finding, financing, and transitioning into a cash flowing online business in 4 months or less. So let's recap. So the 3 secrets, which help you go through the 5-step process of evaluating, financing, transitioning, optimizing, and scaling. Secret number 1 is the evaluation methodology. Know which deals are worth buying. Secret number 2 is creative financing. Buy with little to no money down. Secret number 3 is the ownership transition. Protect your investment from day one, okay? And again, this is all from real experience, real results. 19 businesses that we purchased, not counting our community. We've had over 30 million in online sales since 2022. We made the Inc. 5000 over the last 2 years. This is all from success. This is all from actual sales. It's all from real experience doing this over and over and over and over and over. Okay. All right, guys. So have you gotten value out of this? Let me know. Have you gotten value? Let me know here in the comments. And also give me like a thumbs up, raise your hand if you give me permission to share how I can help you be able to go from no experience even to being well on your way to buying an online business within 4 months or less. Let me know here in the comments. So I got a yes, I've got a please. Great, appreciate it. Cool, okay, all right guys, thank you for the comments. Okay, all right guys. So right now you might be at a crossroads. I mean, but let me ask you this. What if I had a proven system that walked you through every single step from finding the right deal to closing it and transitioning into it and becoming an owner, okay? Because you have 3 options at this time. You can do nothing, which means that you leave this webinar, you forget everything that we just went over, and you keep doing what you've been doing. You keep watching YouTube maybe, you keep researching, you keep telling yourself, I'll buy a business someday. You keep dreaming, okay? Okay, you gotta be an action taker, not a dreamer, okay? Or number 2, you do it yourself and you take what you learn, you try to figure it out on your own. It's honorable, but expect 12 to 18 months and potentially 6 figures in mistakes. Most people who try alone, they never close a deal or they make some very costly mistakes. And then they never realize their goal because that mistake cost them, their vision, their dreams. Or you could join ARM5. You can follow my step-by-step system. You could use my tools and frameworks, and you could buy your first online business within 4 months or less even, with expert guidance every step of the way. And this is, as you can imagine, the most popular option to reduce risk, to guarantee success, to also be able to change your life as fast as possible. So there's so many advantages. So here's how it works. I've put together a complete system that walks you through every step of finding, evaluating, financing, and closing your first online business acquisition. And again, this is in 4 months or less. If you're an action taker, you're hungry, you're driven, you can do it in less than 4 months. But for the average person, it takes 4 months, more or less, okay? But let me break it down for you. So this is the ARM5 acquisition method. This is what I'm alluding to. This is our complete system to take you from 0 deals to owning a cash flowing online business in 4 months or less. And this isn't just another course. This is a high level mentorship and implementation program that covers everything from finding your first deal to closing it and even scaling it with our help, with expert guidance every step of the way. This is something that we curate. We only allow 7 people into our program every single month. This isn't something that we're selling to the masses. This is something that we're really having a lot of influence over. We're working hands-on with everybody in our community because it's all about impact. Because what's the point of selling something if it doesn't create impact? You want to create impact if you're selling anything valuable, and that's why we take this approach. So what's included? So you get our deal analyzer and valuation model, which allows you to instantly evaluate businesses with proprietary templates. You can input metrics and see revenue trends instantly, profit margins, suggested offer ranges. It spits all that out for you. This way you stop overpaying for businesses, basically. So this alone is worth about $500. You also get access to our due diligence vault, which is pre-built 100+ point checklist. So this way you're evaluating a business properly. Also, you get access to financial ratio calculators and traffic analyzers to ensure comprehensive evaluation. And this is the system that's literally been built from years of experience, from all the acquisitions we've had, and also all the mistakes that we made early when we started buying businesses. This way you don't make the same mistakes that we made. So this is a system that's literally protected me from bad deals now for several years. The value of this is literally about $10,000. You also get access to legal contracts and deal templates. These are attorney designed purchase agreements, LOIs, which are letter of intents to buy, and also negotiation scripts. This way you can eliminate the legal guesswork, and you also don't have to spend $5,000 on a lawyer to draft all these agreements from scratch. Okay, so it's about a $5,000 value. You also get access to our growth and optimization swipe files, These are ready-to-use marketing assets and SOPs to boost performance immediately after acquisition. And these are the exact strategies I've used since 2013 to scale businesses. I've literally impacted thousands of businesses through my work since 2013. And so this allows you to grow your business as fast as possible. And this is literally worth millions in potential revenue, okay? You also get access to weekly coaching calls, live Q&A sessions with seasoned acquisition experts. This will allow you to get real-time guidance on deals, due diligence, and scaling tactics. And this way you never make a decision alone. This is about a $12,000 yearly value. And you get access to our mastermind community. You get to join a private community of other driven people just like you, where you can share deal opportunities. You can leverage partnerships with fellow driven, determined wealth builders just like you. And you also get access to this over your lifetime, okay? So it's not like a 4-month access, not 12-month access. Once you're in, you get access to all this for life. So you can go through it. You can buy a business several times over if you really want to, okay? And then also on top of that, you get a personalized strategy session. So after booking, you'll get a one-on-one personalized strategy session to map out your specific path to your first acquisition within 120 days or less, personalized to you based on capital, based on experience, based on your goals, okay? We'll show you how you can accomplish your goals with that session. And again, this is all derived from real experience. 19 businesses acquired, over 30 million in online sales, 2-time Inc. 5000 honoree, and also literally hundreds of deals evaluated. Okay, so let's talk value. So what most people spend trying to do this on their own is they might go into their master's, get a master's in business. They'll spend $80,000 to $150,000, maybe more, depending on the school. And they still don't have the experience, but they learn a lot. And then they go out and they finally start doing it, but they have to invest a lot of money to get to that point. Or they might hire a business broker. The problem with that is they're not really invested in you getting a really good deal. They're invested in getting a deal because they make money on the deal, okay? So they want to try to get the largest transaction done as possible. They're not necessarily invested in mitigating your risk and helping you get a deal with little to no money out of pocket. That's not what they do because they want to maximize their commission for the sale. And so there's about a $30,000, $50,000, maybe even more fee when you work with a broker. Or attorney fees. Attorney fees for deal structuring is typically between $5,000 and $15,000. So basically, like one bad deal here, due to poor diligence, can literally cost you tens of thousands of dollars, maybe even $100,000 or more even. So the total risk without a system really comes down to $50,000 to $300,000, maybe even more. Quite a bit, okay? And see, ARM5, we give you everything in one place for a fraction of what you'd spend making mistakes on your own. See, here's the total value breakdown, all right? The total value here is literally, if we were to add all this up, is a little bit over $1 million. It's $1 million and $18,500. So it's quite a bit, total real world value, okay? But I would never charge you this much. But here's the thing, I'm not going to throw up a price on screen. I'm not going to ask you to buy right now. That's not how we work. Every person on this call is in a different situation, different capital, different experience, different goals. And so we take a personalized approach. As I mentioned before, we only help 7 people every single month, okay? So the next step isn't a checkout page. It's literally just a conversation with you. That's it, okay? Very light first step for you. And this is a personalized online business buying strategy session where we personally map out a plan for your situation to help you buy a business within a few months, okay? And it's based on you, based on your goals, based on your resources, all the above, all right? So I found that the people who get the best results are the ones who start with a clear plan customized to their situation. That's why the next step isn't a checkout page, it's a conversation, okay? So here's everything you get. Again, there's over $1 million in value when you decide to work with us. And the next step here is literally just to book your free online business buying strategy session, okay? Now this is a $1,000 value. It's complimentary, so it's 100% free. We're not gonna charge you a dime. But all you have to do is just click the link here in the comments, and this way you can get a time on our calendar. We have limited spots every single day, so we don't have a ton of spots. So definitely jump on this right away if this resonates with you, if you're ready to change your life, if you're ready to add a valuable investment asset to your portfolio, then take action right away on this, okay? Now, when you decide to come on board and work with us, your investment is 100% protected, okay? There's a few different ways we do that. So in every single agreement with every single client, we have a guarantee in that agreement that if you follow the system and you work with our mentors, that you will buy a business within 4 months or less, or we'll continue to work with you until you do. And this is for our done with you tier, which is where you're working with us hands-on. Now, we also have a done for you, which is only 2 to 3 spots every month. The done for you has a money back guarantee even. So you have guarantees in place, no matter which path you take with us, that protects your investment and also aligns us with your success. So there's literally zero risk. You either get results or we keep working with you until you do. So you literally have nothing to lose and a cash flowing business to gain. But hey, there's a little bit more here. There's some exclusive bonuses. When you book this complimentary online business buying session right now, you get access to the following, okay? You get bonus number 1, our business acquisition readiness scorecard. This is a self-assessment tool that scores your readiness across 5 key areas: capital, credit, time, knowledge, and mindset, and gives you a clear action path towards any gaps before you start closing deals. This way you can prevent those gaps and eliminate those gaps as well. Also, bonus number 2, you get a first call script pack. Okay, exactly what to say when contacting sellers and brokers. Now, most beginners blow the first deal in the first 5 minutes because they sound like a tire kicker. They don't come across confident. They come across as someone that's just like wasting their time basically. And then the seller, the broker wants to get off that meeting, that call right away. Now, these scripts that will help you though sound like a sophisticated buyer right away in the first minute. Okay. Also, you get bonus number 3 by my friend Garrett Gunderson, who is a New York Times and Wall Street Journal bestselling author. He's got some great books. I highly recommend you read his books. He has allowed me to give you his Tax Navigator, which is a complete guide to legal tax strategies for business owners, which covers entity structuring, deductions, and keeping more of what you earn from the business you buy with our help. So it's not just about buying cash flow, it's about keeping it, okay? And again, we're in the middle of a big opportunity here. There's 6 million small businesses changing hands. Also, 48% of boomers plan to exit within the next 3 years. And there's 5 trillion or more in private business assets right now entering the market, okay? So I built this system because I was tired of watching good people lose money on bad deals. Every tool, every template, every framework in ARM5 exists because I needed it myself first. It came out of our experience and some of the mistakes we made early on when we started buying businesses in 2022, which we don't make now because of this system. And now you can have access to it as well. So if all these people are getting results, isn't it possible that you can too? Of course it is. And here's the big bonus that we're offering for the first 5 people that book during this training. You'll get a Golden Goose personal deal review bonus, which means that you'll work with me one-on-one on your first target deal. You'll get my personal eyes on the purchase. So I'll help you go through that purchase in detail, create the offer. I'll coach you on how to go close that offer. I'll work with you extensively during this Golden Goose personal deal review session. Okay. So once you're in the program, I'll hop on a call with you, go through that first target purchase line by line. And I usually do charge for this, but you'll get it because of the fact that you're being decisive today. So go ahead and click on that link, get on our calendar before our calendar fills up. I believe we only have 1 spot available for tomorrow, for example. We have limited spots Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So jump on this right away, get on our calendar, take advantage of this opportunity. This way you can buy an online business by following our systematic process. This way you can mitigate your risk, you can maximize your ROI from this opportunity, and you can literally change your life. Okay, all right, guys. I am going to go ahead and take questions. So let me know what questions you have for me in the comments, all right? Okay, so first question came in. Am I speaking with you or your team? So it depends. we have a round robin. So some people will connect with me directly. Some people will connect with some of our staff. So it just really depends. But there's a chance that you'll connect with me directly. So thank you for the question. I appreciate that, Horace. Okay, another question came in. What if I don't believe I can operate the business once I take ownership? So after you buy a business, we stay on as an advisor. And so we help you manage the business. We make sure that you're implementing our systems, our processes, and we help you every month, every step of the way, be able to get through the transition period and also grow the business. Because we ultimately, the goal is not just to help you buy the business. That's just step one, and that's what the acquisition method is all about. But we also want to help you turn that business into an even more valuable asset, because that's really what's going to change your life, is selling a business. Selling businesses is where real wealth is created. So we stay on as an advisor long-term and help you grow this business. And ideally, we help you sell it within 2 years or less, okay? Great question. I appreciate it. And then another question here, what if I don't know what niche? So I said this earlier, you don't want to find the perfect niche, the perfect product, the perfect business, because perfect is, it's a needle in a haystack. You want to look at businesses with the lens of, I want to find a good business that I can buy with good creative terms that allow me to reduce the risk, that keep the owner invested in my future success, that allow me to step into cash flow on day one, and also has the potential to make a lot more cash flow over the next 12, 24 months or so, and also a business that I can sell over the next few years, okay? So that's really like the lens that you want to use when you're buying a business. So, thank you so much for that question. It's not about the niche. You definitely can look for specific niches and you can target those niches, and we have systems that allow you to do that. But you definitely want to cast a wide enough net, because to get a really good deal, to get a good business, it's a numbers game. It's a numbers game. You have to be okay with letting some businesses go that don't meet your guidelines, that meet our requirements. And you may have to let go of businesses that were in niches you really like, but then you end up buying a business that has the risk mitigated and has returns on day one and also has substantial ROI over the next 24 months or less. Okay, so thank you so much, Val, for that question. I appreciate it. How hands-on are you with helping me is the next question from Jessica. So Jessica, so we work with our clients every single week. So we have a done with you and a done for you. So the done for you, we're doing all the work. So all you have to do is just meet with us, like literally for one call a week, more or less. Okay, so very minimal. We're doing all the heavy lifting. The done with you, we have a coaching call with a roundtable approach with everybody in the community, where everybody takes a turn, and you can take multiple turns. You can stay on for quite some time, and that is every single Thursday at 4 p.m. Arizona time, which is currently 7 p.m. Eastern. Okay, but it's every single week where we see where you're at in the process, help you with any challenges, any bottlenecks, any obstacles. We go through deals with you. We prepare you for deals you want to pitch. We help you put together deals. We help you close deals. So we help you hands-on every step of the way through those two different formats, okay? So thank you, Jessica, for that question. What if I don't know my buy box? This is from Stephen. So Stephen, great question. So if you don't know your buy box, again, like, we could help you create a buy box. When we meet with you with this personalized online business buying strategy session, this is where we'll help you create a buy box. And so you can lean on us if you don't have a buy box. We can help you create that buy box and go over what's possible for you based on your resources, your expertise, your background, your goals. We can help you craft what your buy box is. So don't you worry about that. We can definitely take care of that and help you with that. Okay, next question from Alex. How many hours a week do I need to put into this alongside my job? Great question. So we have two different tiers. The done for you, which again, limited tier, we only have 2 to 3 spots every month. This only requires an hour, maybe 2 hours a week. So, very easy to, create an hour or 2 hours every week around a full-time job for that. Now, the done with you, that does require about 10 to 15 hours a week. So, you can do this on the weekends, you can do this in the evenings, you can do this early mornings. So you can do this around your full-time schedule, okay? It just comes down to whether you want it bad enough. You have to be driven, you have to carve out the time, you have to make the sacrifices, but and if you do that, then there's going to be a massive light at the end of the tunnel, because when you commit, when you put in the time consistently, like Dirk, one of the testimonials that I showed you today, you'll be able to buy a business in the next few months, and then you'll have the option of leaving your job if you want. And either way, you're going to have way more cash flow, income, wealth opportunities, because now you are the owner of an online business. So it's worth it. Okay. So that's what it takes to answer your question. So thank you so much, Alex, for the question. All right. Matt says, I'm nervous about getting laid off. How soon can this make me cash flow? Great question. So if you come in hot, come in driven, come in determined, I mean, you could buy a business within a few months, maybe 2 months or less even. We estimate it takes on average about 4 months for someone that doesn't have a business buying background to follow our system, follow our process. And that's what we've seen with other people that have come through our programs. But if you come in hot, come in driven, you could buy it in less time. Okay. But worst case scenario, 4 months, to answer your question. So, and again, the system is designed to help you buy a business that is an established, a successful, a profitable, cash flowing business. So you step into cash flow and additional income on day one of ownership. Okay. So basically within 4 months or less, you can, feel relieved and not have to worry about getting laid off, because you'll have security. So great question. Stacy, here's your question. With AI, do I need a massive staff to manage? That's a great question. Nobody's ever asked that. That's a very advanced question. Actually, no. So you're, by working with us on buying a business and then growing the business, you're actually going to really utilize a lot of what we're doing in our own businesses, because we're going to help you AI-ify any business that you buy. Okay. So basically, we're going to help you install AI employees that complement existing teams and could potentially even replace some of the team as well. So this way, you're creating more efficiencies, you're creating more profit margin, because you're reducing, payroll, overhead costs. So you don't need a massive staff in today's e-com world. And AI agents right now are really ahead of the curve for e-com. Like other business types, like a lot of brick and mortars are behind on adopting AI, but e-com right now is like the best type of business, in my opinion, to step into, because it's ready for AI and it's ready to be AI-ified. And we're already doing that with our businesses. And because you're working with us, we're going to help you do it to your future business as well. So great question. I appreciate it. I see a yo in the comments. Let me know what questions you have. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. All right. So Jack, this isn't really a question, but I'm just going to go ahead and just mention this. He says, I really enjoyed the training, but this sounds too good to be true. Well, it's not too good to be true. It is true. Anybody can do it. There's testimonials in this presentation that you just went through. If you feel like it's too good to be true, it's a mindset thing. I might not be able to help you out with that, but I'm telling you that if you can work on that, then you could be a owner of an established, successful, profitable online business over the next few months. Okay. All right. Let me see. Do I have any other questions here? Let me just double check. All right. All right. I don't see any other questions. So I'll give a countdown here. So last call for questions. Going once. Okay. So question from Ben. He says, what if I don't do this. I'm nervous. I'm not sure I understand your question, Ben. Maybe you could expand on that. Can you give me a little bit more context? Um, Great name, by the way. It's my son's name too. So the whole point, this might help. The whole point, if you're nervous about anything, is you have people that have done what you want to do that you can lean on. Okay, that should ease the nerves. You also have a proven system, a proven process. That should also ease the nerves, because the opposite is you go at it alone, then you have to take on all that risk. You have to figure it out every step of the way. You don't have a blueprint, a process to follow. And so you're going to more than likely make some mistakes along the way. That would make anybody nervous, okay? But working with us, going through the system, going through the process, the blueprint that we have here in place that we lean on even with our, very successful business, that should ease your nerves, okay? So hopefully that helps, and then let's see. So Karen, I'm on disability and I'm not sure if I can hold myself accountable. Well, Karen, I mean, I'll do my best to motivate you every step of the way and to hold you accountable. That's part of what you're getting in the program, is having that accountability aspect. But you got to meet us halfway. Okay. So, but if you want more for yourself, then just hold yourself accountable and just lean on us every step of the way, and we'll get you to the finish line. Okay, and I see your comment, Ben. Hey, look, the nice thing about the timing right now is by the end of the year, you can own a business that is giving you 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, maybe even more in net profit and additional income every single month. Okay. So listen, you can continue to stay in that nervous state and not do anything, or you can take action and not regret this opportunity at the end of the year, because you would if you don't take action, because you'd be missing out on owning a business and having that income that you could have fairly quickly. Okay. So that's my feedback, in regards to that. And hey guys, like I started my business a single dad, and I started my business because I wanted the freedom of time. That was my biggest motivator, because I wanted to be a present father. I wanted to make sure I was there for my son, every day that I had him. I had 50-50 with his mom, and I left corporate America. I left a very safe, comfortable position, making nearly 6 figures a year. And that was 2000, that was early 2013, so it was a long time ago now. And it all worked out. And again, like I told you in the presentation, I come from a very average, normal background, grew up a military brat, was raised to get that sheepskin, as my mom calls it, get that education, get that degree, get a job. And I wasn't raised, to know business, become a business owner, any of that. I didn't have resources. I didn't have money. And the rest is history. So, and then since, 2013, since I started my business, I've been able to, for one, be there for my son every step of the way, create some incredible memories with my son, that I probably wouldn't have had if I had been slaving away behind a cubicle, which I had been doing up until that point. I wouldn't have had tens of millions of sales online. I wouldn't have published books. I wouldn't have helped thousands of e-com businesses. I wouldn't have helped people like you buy businesses and change their lives. I wouldn't have had a 2-time Inc. 5000 company. So listen, if I can do it, guys, you can do it too. And I would love to help you. I would love to help you change your life, open up your time, and be able to reap some of the benefits that I've reaped with the choices that I've made over the last now 14 years. Okay. But you have to make that decision. You have to step through that door. You have to have faith. You have to take bold action, because that's exactly what I did back in early 2013 when I started on my journey. Is I took bold action. I took a leap of faith, and the rest is history. So I know that we'll
we'll walk with you every step of the way. We'll hold your hand. We'll help you get to the finish line. I can promise you that. All you have to do is just meet us halfway. Okay. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate your time. Appreciate all the questions. And if you guys, need anything, let me know. Reach out to me on social media. For those that booked, thank you so much. We look forward to serving you. We look forward to helping you buy online businesses. All right, guys. Well, you guys all have a great day. I'll see you guys soon.